Hey guys, how the hell are you? Okay, time for round 2 for our infrequently asked questions. So there again, if you guys dig this, make sure you hit that like button and by all means ask your questions in the comment section because they could get answered in a future episode. So if this gets enough interest, we'll make this a regular series, okay? So, alright, first question. Hi Arnold, what loops have you been using? I've not found any good ones for a while. Keep up the good work. Not too long ago, someone finally sat me down and explained to me how awesome the TuneTrack MIDI packs were. Because for a long time, I had always just programmed my stuff just flat out, like start to finish. Dude informed me about like all the MIDI packs that TuneTrack has to offer, and when I got one to try, I was amazed by how human they sounded. Because it's actual drummers playing at an electronic kit, so there's different velocities, just kind of a little bit off the beat from time to time. It sounds human. So impressed by that very first pack I got, I honestly bought like 12 more packs besides that, and I've just been assembling stuff from those packs, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. Hey Arnold, what's your top 5 off-the-shelf beers? No IPAs, please, LOL. Ooh, well, it's a good question, but it's also a bit of a loaded question because, technically speaking, pretty much all beer is off-the-shelf beer. There's a handful of things here or there that are only available as like limited release draft only, just at the tap room. Occasionally some stuff like some of the West Veteran stuff, actually all the West Veteran stuff you can't even import, so that's really hard to come by. Most of the stuff is off the shelf, just depending on where you're at. And are we talking like stuff that's hard to get, stuff that's like super expensive, comes in single bottles? You know what, I'll tell you what, I'll just name like 5 off the top of my head that if they're like at a party or something, or if someone brings over a 6-pack of this, I'll be like, yep, okay, let's drink that. Allstott Lager, because it's a Hell's Lager variety, and I really love Hell's Lager. Hofbrau Dunkel. New Holland Dragon's Milk for something a little bit stronger. Hoegaarden White, because that kind of always holds a good place in my heart. It's just a nice, smooth, really light beer. And for probably something super cheap, PBR, Pabst Blue Ribbon, because you know what? It is a cheap beer, but goddamn, it's probably the best of the cheap beer that's out there because it actually tastes like beer. Do you still sell the guitars you review? Is the PRS Dusty for sale? A lot of times I do still buy instruments to review if I'm unable to get in contact with various brands, or if I'm just not really all that bothered to, or for whatever reason. I sometimes pick up instruments for the purposes of doing a review. For instance, behind me, I've got a Hamer Archtop SATF, I believe it's called. That thing I bought just so that I could do a review on it, and that is coming. I just need to get off my ass and do it. And that one will be for sale as soon as the review is done. Now, with regards to the PRS Dusty, that was actually something where the brand PRS actually sent that to me to check out. So that one is not for sale, at least not through me. So you would actually have to hit up a dealership or PRS themselves. I just noticed that you changed your middle ring pinky finger position while picking. Is it due to the layout of the controls with the knob being closer to the pickup on the instrument? I'm admittedly not good, but it's one of my problems is I like to have my fingers out and I hit my volume knob a lot. I've tried to pick with my 3 fingers curled in, it just doesn't feel right. It's caused me to look for an instrument with the knobs out of the way, which ends up cutting out a lot of interesting options. I guess I just need to practice and get better or take lessons. So firstly, wow, very, very good question. To be honest, I don't usually pay attention to the shape that my picking hand is making. Usually I just pick up an instrument and I'm just writing, I'm playing, I'm practicing, I'm doing whatever, but that's not really something that comes into play so much for me. Now, if it is an instrument where the controls are close enough that my fingers hit when I'm picking, I do get conscious of that, and I maybe make an adjustment to how I play based on that, but it's usually subconscious. I'm not even really giving it too much of a thought. It just kind of happens while I'm in the moment, while I'm playing. So I wish I had some tips or something for you, but to me, it's just something where I've got so many different instruments here that all play differently, that all feel differently, and that all have different layouts, and it's just kind of a thing where I just kind of get used to whatever instrument I'm playing within a few seconds of picking it up. So I wish I had a better answer for you. Solar guitars look sexy as fuck. Is it light or heavy? To me, I think it's just kind of a normal weight for an instrument. I don't really pay too much attention to how heavy or how light an instrument is, unless it's so dramatically so that it kind of surprises me. To give you an idea, like that Halo guitar that I did a review of last year was so goddamn heavy that instantly that was literally the first thing I noticed about it. I mean, I don't know, to me it just feels like a normal solid body guitar. Tell you what, let me get the luggage scale and weigh it. Okay, so this one is about 7.67 pounds. Arns, I recall you saying you like the Lundgren Black Heaven pickup. Can you shed a little light on that? I had the M6 and I liked it, but I found it a bit thin. Would you say the Black Heaven is thicker sounding? So firstly, if you found the M6 to be thin, I might call into question the instrument that it was put in. Because whenever I've played a Lundgren M6, I've not really noticed it to be sounding super thin. Granted, it had a much different tone depending on what instrument it was in. Some instruments way more articulate, some instruments way fuller, but every instrument that I ever tried a Lundgren M6 in had a real kind of chunky chug to it. Now, as far as the Black Heaven go, yeah, that is a super thick and, in my opinion, super dark sounding pickup. That was actually one of the reasons why someone suggested I not get it when I initially placed my order for my Aristides. Is they said, dude, that's too dark, it's not going to do what you want it to do. And lo and behold, it was actually so dark sounding that it had a really, really kick-ass recording guitar tone. So I was very, very pleased with it. It definitely sounds dark, and if you're used to stuff that sounds brighter, like Duncan distortions or even actives like EMGs or blackouts or whatever, it's going to sound much darker to you. Not muddy, but darker. And I would say try, if you can, because it's not exactly something super easy to find, try to find an instrument that you can play that's already got them in it. But I'm personally very happy with it. Have you ever played through a Mesa oversized rectifier cab? In my honest opinion, they put nearly all other modern cabs to shame, but that's just me. I have played through an oversized Mesa cab before. I actually used to have one, and I love that cabinet too. I think it's killer. I also think that there's a ton of other cabs out there that are ridiculous too. Engel cabs, Bogner cabs with greenbacks are really awesome. My KSR that has the vintage 30 and the creamback in it sounds really, really good. I recently just got my custom Vader cab with Eminence Legends, and that sounds tits. For that matter, Eminence Legends, speaking of, Bassans, oh my god, knowing what I know now, I'll be honest with you, I would have never bought my Mesa cabinet back in the day. I would have bought a Bassan cabinet brand new when they were still a thing. Because the day that I got my Bassan 2x12, a light bulb went off. It was a fantastic cabinet. Now, that being said, would I say that the oversized Mesa cabinet is a fantastic metal 4x12? Fuck yes, I would. It's one of the best. Would I say it's the best? Maybe not, but definitely way up there. What noise gate do you use? I use an ISP decimator. It's the same one that I bought brand new maybe like, geez, I don't know, maybe 11, 12 years ago. It's a killer pedal, and it served me well. It served me on tour. It served me through playing tons of bar shows, and now it's serving me great here in the home studio. Unpaid advertisement right there, but the thing's been durable, and it still does its job. So, great pedal. Have you ever built your own guitar or bass and played it, as well as play someone else's homemade guitar bass build? If not, would you be willing to try something like that? So I have tried other people's homemade guitar basses and parts casters, that sort of stuff, and there's been varying levels of quality. I myself have built a couple. I've got the Maite Gallocaster, which is downstairs. That is a Fender Esquire style that I built for the wife that's got the fret salad on it. Just something simple and easy that she can learn on. And then I've also assembled this, which is the Maite Hobblecaster. Maite is my wife's name, by the way. And this is basically my dream hot-rodded Strat. And I attempted to build it myself, and there's a handful of things on here I'm really, really glad I built it myself. And there's also a couple things on here that I'm like, man, I really wish I would have just bought something and had a professional do it. So I'm looking to replace it with a really, really killer hot-rodded Strat at some point, or I might just bite the bullet, take it to my new buddy, Dr. John, down the road, who is my new tech that I take all my stuff to, and I might bring this to him to see if he can figure out why this thing sucks so much right now. Damn boy, you getting tubby. Okay, so what do you guys think? Do you think we should have a weekly segment like Troll of the Week? All right, Luis,
you're the first Troll of the Week.
Now, there is definitely a few different ways that I could respond to this. But, you know, it is what it is. Some people just feel really, really awful about themselves, so they figure, hey, let me find someone else who looks like an easy target and let me see if I can pick on them. So you know what, Luis? I really wish you the best, and I hope that whatever is hurting you is put to rest, is put to bed, so to speak, so that way you can move on with your life. You can maybe spread a little bit of joy, a little bit of happiness, instead of just resorting to this. So, yeah, go have yourself a beer. I hope you feel better. So that's it for me. This was iFAQ number 2, and I hope you guys dug it. If you did, please leave a comment below. Give me a question that I can answer on a future episode. Otherwise, I hope to see you guys again real soon. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Lots more metal guitar-oriented content to come.